Welcome back to Maintainer's Garage. I'm Bags. Today we're going to be changing the spark plugs in my 2005 C6 Corvette. What does that entail? Well, first you need a parts list. You need a socket, 5/8 inch socket, and this is a spark plug socket. It's got a little rubber insert on it, so when it gets on the spark plug and you pull it out, or if you go to install it, it'll hold it in there. Very useful. Spark plug gapping tool. These are AC Delco Iridiums, the 41110s, and I want to get into why I'm using that. A lot of people use it. A lot of people are happy with it. That's why I'm using it. And there's a lot of debate about copper, platinum, iridium. I'm not smart enough to have that debate, so I won't have it. I couldn't debate anybody on the internet about this because I'm not smart enough and I don't have enough information. I know a lot of people use these, happy with them, they work well. That's why I chose to change it. Or that's why I chose to use this plug. And you may be asking, like, how many miles are on my car? My car is under 40,000 miles, but it's a 2005. I have no idea when these spark plugs were changed. So for me, spending the $45 to get the plugs and to change them so I have a new baseline of, okay, I changed the plugs on this date with this many miles, that makes me happy. It gives me another point and say, okay, this mechanically on my car is okay. This is the date I took care of it. When you're working on an older car, you want to stay in front of these things. So that's all right. And then on torquing, the torque is 11 foot-pounds. I'm not going to use a torque wrench, but you should if you don't know what you're doing. I've done this quite a bit on multiple different vehicles. I've gotten a feel for it. If you do it enough times, you'll figure it out. It's not a problem. These spark plugs come gapped from AC Delco at 0.040. Why do you need a spark plug gapping tool to verify that if they come there? They're not always accurate at the factory. A couple of these were at 40 on dead nuts. A couple of them were at 42. No problem, I'm not adjusting those. A couple of them were at 46. I adjusted those down. A couple of them were at 50. So that's why you check them, and that's why you just make sure. This fuel rail cover, there's 4 spark plugs under it. This fuel rail cover has 4 spark plugs under it. The boots are easy to pull right off, and the spark plugs are fairly easy to get to. The back ones can be a little bit of a pain, but I'll show you that as we get into it. So let me move the camera and let's get into it. Take this fuel rail cover off. It's just got a couple little snaps here, and it's got a split in the plastic right here. So this fuel line, it'll slide right off of it. And voila. Set it out of the way so you can't step on it, you can't kick it, you can't break it. That exposes our coil packs, plug wires, and down here in the manifold, the spark plug. Right here behind the alternator is that spark plug wire. There's a boot, spark plug. Same thing here, you can follow it down. Spark plug boot, you'll see a little metal cap. Pull that off the spark plug. Another one here, another one back here. If you're not sure, just follow this wire down. You can unplug this from the coil pack. It won't hurt a thing. And when you unplug it, you can see your spark plug boot wire. It's this long. There's no doubt where that's going. If you want to connect that right back up, just push it up. You'll hear it click. Go click. It'll literally click when it fits in. You're done. I'm going to start up here at the front. Get a handy dandy set of channel locks. Grab right on the back of the boot and shake, rattle, and roll. And I grabbed right there. Grab right there. You don't have to squeeze the life out. Squeeze it, hold it, shake it. It'll come out. And I will take this spark plug wire off. So you can see that. Now, take our spark plug socket and hook that up, and I always get it on by hand first. Get on it fully, and there we are. And now we can probably just about get this thing out by hand. I'm going to show you how I do this. I'll do it one at a time. I'll put the spark plug wires back, but you don't want to get those messed up. You don't want to get the order messed up. You want to put them back exactly where they came from. Well, there went that socket and spark plug. This is why we have magnetic retrieving tools, but that's also why we use this particular spark plug socket, because that rubber insert just holds that thing. Oh, and ironically, I'm pulling out a 41-110. So there it is. All right. That can go in the circular file cabinet. Now we're going to install our new plug. I've checked the gap. It's a 41-110. So you're not supposed to put anti-seize on it. So I don't. You slide the plug in there, make sure you can spin it, stick your hand down in here. It's a little bit of finding the hole. Yeah, enough of that. It'll be easy to thread in. You want to thread this thing as much as you humanly can by hand. If you cross thread a spark plug, you're going to have a bad day. The head is, yeah, don't go by hand until it won't go no more. And if it doesn't take longer than 10 turns and it's tight, it's cross-threaded. All right, we're coming up on tight there. We can use our small ratchet, righty-tighty, and get that all the way on. And click, click. Oh, yep, torqued. Yep, yep. Give it click, 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 click. Yep, torqued. All right, now we'll move to our next plug, which is right here. Again, we'll just pull this off. See if we can pull this one off. Nope. Just take our pliers, grab the end of that rubber boot. You can grab the metal too, as long as you don't bend it. And just shake and pull, and it'll pop off. So this was the first one. That's the second one. We're going to put the third one, fourth one. We can't screw the order up unless we knock those off, which I ain't going to do. All right, so let's get our spark plug socket. Spark plug's right there. We'll get that on. We'll get our longer ratchet just to go ahead and not have to fool with it. Yeah, it was in there properly. Snug. And we can pull it out by hand now. We'll get our fresh new spark plug. Put it in. This one is real easy. You can see the hole. Put it in by hand until it's snug. It's cross-threaded. Stop what you're doing, because it's about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. And copyright infringement. All right, new plug is snug by hand. Click, and we'll check it one more time. Click, click. Yep, torque twice. Spark plug wire, we'll get that off. And I'm not even going to try bothering with that by hand anymore. Just to reiterate, you want to grab this and just pull. You don't have to grab it like you're trying to break it. There we go. That goes right there from the third one, so it's lined up. Spark plug is right down in there. You can see just the tip. Yeah, I've harassed that enough. Put our socket on it, or put our ratchet on it, and loosen her right up. Just watch this wire harness to make sure you don't jack it up. This job doesn't take very long, and it's not very hard. However, these back two can make you want to cuss. Yeah, that didn't look so bad. Again, circular file cabinet over here. Our new plug. Start it by hand and tight. And if I didn't say this, the reason I normally wear a watch, I took it off for this because where you're shoving your hand, your watch will block your access. So when you pull it off, let your hand get down here easier. Plus, you won't gouge the face of your watch up. All right, we'll get our ratchet. It's still righty-tighty because we ain't changed it. Click, and we'll try to click, click, click. Yep, done twice. Last one on the driver's side. Pull it off the coil pack. The most aft one on the driver's side and the passenger side are the pain in the you-know-whats. And that goes right there. That's our last one. We'll get this on here. My swivel head ratchet is going to make this a little easier. If you don't have a swivel head ratchet, you can still get there. A universal will work perfectly. This just makes the job a little easier. That looks all right. Got to find the hole. Just be gentle with the electrode on your, be gentle with the end of the spark plug as you're trying to find the hole. Don't just be shoving it, banging it around. Be a gentleman. Just go easy. Be a gentleman. That's all I got to say about that. And tighten it by hand like we did our previous three. Unlike the previous three, we're going to use our swivel head ratchet. Make sure it's righty-tighty. You can apply a lot more torque with this ratchet because of the length of the arm for leverage. So just be mindful of that if you happen to be using something like this. And click, and we'll make sure again. Click, yep, good. Now it's time to put these spark plug wires back. I find it easier to put it on the actual plug first, then connect it to the coil pack. And you should just be able to see the tip down there. When you push it on, it'll literally fall on, and then if you give it a small tug pulling backwards, you know you've got it on. You saw how hard it was to pull them off. So, and hopefully that click, you heard that. So you know, it's literally just push this on, get on the plug. You'll feel it kind of slide over there, then you push it all the way in. If you give it one gentle or a kind of a hard tug backwards, if it doesn't come off, then push it forward to make sure it's still reseated. You're done. And that, make sure that's fully seated. Grab this one. Same thing, right on top of the plug. And you just feel it in. Yep. All good. Slap that in. Put this last one on, this most forward plug. Tug, nope, it's good to go. Hook up the coil pack. We're done with the driver's side. I'm gonna leave the fuel well cover off. We'll go move to this side. I gotta readjust my camera here. All right, now we're on the passenger side. Gotta remove this fuel rail cover. Just take the oil cap off. We'll put it back on as soon as we get this fuel rail cover off. Just like that one, just held on by a couple little snaps. Pull there, snap there, snap there. It's easy to pull off. Again, put this someplace where you won't step on it, kick it, break it, completely destroy it. And now we can see coil pack, coil pack, coil pack, coil pack, spark plug wire, spark plug wire, spark plug wire, spark plug wire, spark plug. Don't forget to put your oil cap back on so you don't contaminate your oil with all kinds of nonsense, not limited to, but including stupid comments by video creator. All right, we're going to start on the back one this time. So we'll pull this off, get our pliers, grab our little boot, and shake. And off she comes. Just like before, we're going to put this in the aft position. The next one will go in front of it, next one go in front of it, next one go in front of it, again, to make it bags proof. All right, now it's time to do this, pull this plug out. We'll try the socket and the long extension. The reason we're using the long extension, it looks like the short extension might hit. There's a weird looking bracket down here, so we'll just put the socket on there and go from there. All right, socket's on our spark plug. Long extension won't work. We'll try our short extension. Yeah, there's a bracket right down here that our short extension is going to hit. So we'll see about just getting our socket on, our ratchet onto the socket, and do it that way. Yep, that did it. So on this most aft one on the passenger side, you could possibly use a universal joint or skip it all together and just put your ratchet right on the socket. Pull that one out. Look at it. Yeah, it looks okay. Pull out one of our fresh new plugs. Insert it just like the driver's side. Be a gentleman looking for the hole and find it, thread it by hand. And because of the angle of this, I'm going to use our larger swivel head socket to snug it down. but it gets the same torque requirements as everything else. Click. Yep, we're good there. Now we'll go to the next one, pull the boot right off of the coil pack, grab our pliers, grab the rubber back of the plug, shake, rattle, and roll, and off we come. You just see the tip of the spark plug, get our socket on, we'll put our small extension on, lefty-loosey, and away we go. Look at it, looks okay. Get our brand new one. You can just about see the hole where this one goes. It lines up fairly simple. Thread it all the way in by hand, come back and hit it with the ratchet afterwards. Click, go to the next one, pull it off the coil pack. Watch your hand on that metal tube for the oil dipstick. It won't scream if you smash your fingers into it, but you will. And there's a oxygen sensor right here. Wiring, watch it as well when you're pulling out this spark plug boot. And just like that, comes out, put it there, can't screw it up. Get our spark plug socket and short extension, throw it down in here. Sort of can't see the tip, but you have a good idea where it is. Yeah, spark plug looks okay, nothing crazy about it. New plug, throw it in here. And can't see this hole very well, so be a gentleman and thread it all the way in by hand. Click, last one. On the passenger side and last one on the vehicle, pull it off the coil pack and just watch this AC line here and the oil dipstick. Don't be too much of a Brutus. And we're out. You can grab the ends of these, just don't crush them to death. You don't want to bend it, you don't want to F it all up. And put that there. Spark plug socket. You can see the tip. It's easy to find, easy to get on, and remove. Looks just fine. Install our last new plug. As stated earlier, I checked every gap on these before I ever even started this job, so that's why you haven't seen me check any of the gaps. They're all good. All right, go by hand and tighten it up. Click, we'll double check it again. Click, click. Now we can put the spark plug boots back on. I cleaned all this space out here of all the tools because I don't need any tools to put any of this back together. The only thing the tools hanging out here could do is cause me a problem. We'll start on the very back one. We'll start with the plug first. Shove the boot on. You can feel it just kind of pop on. You've seen how difficult these are to remove. If you give it a good tug going backwards and it doesn't come off, then push it forward, it's on. And on these, you can hear it. I hope the mic picks it up. There's a couple, like two little pops. Next one, little pop. And next one, in the coil pack, there's a little dust ring right there. That's where the boot was. So if you're looking for a reference of how far it should go up, that's it. You'll probably find a dust ring. That'll give you a good idea of how far up your boot's supposed to go. And there we are. We're going to start the engine. Make sure it starts up, no misfires, no coats, no nothing before we put the fuel rail covers back on, just to make sure everything's okay. Well, that was successful. We'll put our fuel rail covers back on and call it a day. Before I put the fuel rail cover back on, I always like to wipe the top side and underside, dust it all off, make it just clean and simple. Pull our cap off, get this on, and it'll just snap right in. Just like that. Spin the cap. Same thing for the other side. All right, we've got the driver's side cleaned up. Just want to split it up here, get it over that braided fuel line. Just watch this hose on the very back lower portion and snap her on. That's how you change your spark plugs on your 2005 Corvette. Really applies to all the C6s. Even the C5 is very, very similar to this. But not a difficult job, not very time consuming. Just got to make sure you understand what you're doing before you start, and you should have a successful endeavor. One thing I will say, gloves wouldn't be a bad idea. Bust your knuckles a little bit here and there. I should have put some on and just wasn't thinking about it. But hey, that's my afterthought to help you not have a bloody knuckle. Anyway, thanks for watching Maintainer's Garage. Have a great day.